As Israel shifts the focus of its deadly war to southern Gaza, they're going to great lengths to show the world they're trying to avoid a massacre. Now, that's included putting out a numbered map so Gazans can flee Israeli bombs. Now, Gazans have been told to listen to media outlets to tell them which numbered block is about to be bombed so they can flee to a neighboring one. So you can imagine they're saying 297 is about to be bombed, please move to 298. It's completely dystopian, right? If Gazans don't want to constantly move from neighborhood to neighborhood, avoiding bombs like they're in some kind of macabre video game, they have, though, been given another option. They can go to the Al-Mawazi safe zone. Now, as you can see, this is a small strip of land on the Mediterranean Sea. So you can see it there in the bottom left of that map. Now, the existence of this zone has been touted by Israel as a sign of its humanitarianism. This is Israeli Ambassador Zipi Hotaveli on Sky.
There is a river. There is a place in Gaza called the Muasi. The Muasi is the place where they all can have shelters. Together with international organizations, we created shelters for the Palestinian people. No, so you cannot say Israel is not, facilitating that. Together with humanitarian aid.
So according to Hotaveli, in Al-Muasi, Gazans will be safe from bombs. They'll have access to shelters and humanitarian aid. Very, very humanitarian. Unfortunately for Hotaveli, Sky obtained footage of Muasi.
This is where she's talking about, a desolate wasteland of sand dunes next to the Mediterranean Sea. There is no aid in Al-Mawazi. There are no aid agency tents. There are no food kitchens. There is no help here.
Ash, 2 million people live in Gaza. According to Zipi Hotaveli, they should all go hang out on what looks like a kind of abandoned junkyard, essentially. I mean, how can we possibly interpret that? Did she just think that, no, I suppose they know that actually no one can enter Gaza, so presumably they would have to have got some freelance journalist to take that film. Maybe she had assumed, oh, no journalist can go into Gaza, so I'm allowed to lie like this.
I don't know what you're talking about, Michael. I saw UN aid trucks. I saw tents. I saw medical aid being delivered. I saw bomb shelters. In fact, I saw an outpost of the Ritz Gaza complete with Olympic-sized swimming pool. I don't know what you're talking about. What I'm saying now is only marginally more ridiculous than some of the things that Zipi Hotaveli goes on television to insist is the truth of the matter. Now, don't forget, let's take a little trip down memory lane and recall some of the things that she's had to say over the course of this war. She insisted that Al-Shifa Hospital was Hamas headquarters. Now, there has been no evidence produced by Israel to suggest that Al-Shifa was Hamas HQ. She alleged specifically that every second door in Gaza opens up onto an underground terror city. Now, once more, we've seen absolutely no evidence of this. And now we have Muasi, which we're being told has got shelters and tents and aid ready for fleeing Palestinians. And it turns out to be little more than landfill. At this point, if you're going to invite Zipi Hotaveli onto television, I think that you have to be aware that you're not asking a reliable and legitimate public official questions. You're engaging with someone who is there to pump out misinformation. And then I think that means that your strategy as a journalist for engaging with her should be very different. Now, it seems to me from that clip, there was pushback from Sky News. The editing in of that footage to show the reality of Muasi, I think, was very important. But I think it's critical, I think, for us to realize that when you're dealing with, an Israeli diplomat like Zipi Hotaveli, you're not dealing with a kind of international statesman who is, very sober and very measured in the things that they say, and they're worried about preserving a sort of diplomatic balance. What you're dealing with is a propagandist who has absolutely no regard for the truth if that truth doesn't serve their state's interests.
Yeah. So I suppose to clarify what you saw in those two clips, so that was part of a package where they were showing a previous interview with Hotaveli where she was talking about this safe zone. And then I think more recently, Sky had got footage from there. So I don't think she was called out in the interview. And I suppose that shows the problem here. I mean, I wouldn't, I wouldn't necessarily judge an interviewee or an interviewer, too harshly for not being able to call that, because obviously it's very, if there's just this scattergun approach to the truth or to lies, it's very difficult to debunk them in real time. So I think Sky went away afterwards and debunked it. So credit to them for that. What I do hope is that the next time she comes on Sky, they don't just let her tell a new series of lies without getting her to be held account for the previous ones, right? I would hope that when she is next on Sky, being, the Israeli ambassador putting forward Israeli talking points, they say, by the way, why should we believe anything you say? Because last time you came on Sky, you said this. And what we then had the time to do was to send presumably a freelance cameraman, because obviously no camera people can go into Gaza, to take some video of this place, and it looked like this. So why should we ever believe anything you say again?